Welcome to the Pulse of the Heartland podcast. This is episode 61. We do appreciate y'all following along here and watching on YouTube as we do it live, commenting. That's always fun. We can, banter back and forth. That's great. Thank you for listening to all the old podcasts. There's only 60 other ones to catch up on if you're not caught up yet. So get to it. But we do want to hear from you. If you don't, get a hold of us on YouTube. There are other socials to do that on. Joey, how can everybody get a hold of us?
Yeah, and so not only are we live on YouTube, we're also live on Twitter every week. So just follow us on our Twitter account. Jump in and join some comments on there. But you can also find us at Heartland Pulse on Twitter. Instagram is Heartland Pulse, and just Facebook and YouTube. If you're already on YouTube following us, you know how to get there. But just search Pulse of the Heartland on Facebook. And did we ever decide who was taking over my position? Because I heard I got fired from this last week since I was gone. And I'm surprised I got my job back that easy.
We didn't. Yeah, we didn't get the YouTube the Twitter poll out, so you're stuck with it, Joey. Sorry.
All right.
Very official the way we do things around here.
I can see that no one wanted to take the big pay raise that you get from reading off the socials. So
true.
You'll get 3 more cents of that big money.
Well, technically, I'm in control of it, so I can put it wherever the hell I want. So
true.
Put it on black.
Yeah, yeah. Let's just double our money.
Definitely don't put it on any of our UFC picks. That's for damn sure.
How is that any of our? Because last I checked and was listening, Trent was picking one, you were picking the other. So I mean, one of you was winning.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later. They're not. Neither one of us got a winning record. We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
One of the fights also got canceled.
After we did it. Anyway, but where are you at, Joey?
I am in the home of the wonderful sport of USFL. I'm in Birmingham, Alabama this week. And,
finally.
Finally. The Joe has come back to Birmingham. I don't know. Got stuck in traffic tonight. I thought maybe there was a game going on, but no, it was just an accident.
There was 3s of 4s of cars out on the interstate. Joey got caught up feeling all that USFL traffic.
Now,
exactly.
Now that it's the playoffs, it's in Canton. It's not even in Birmingham anymore.
Oh,
I think they moved the playoffs.
Yeah, I think the playoffs are in Canton, Ohio, at the Hall of Fame Stadium or whatever.
But I don't think it's the playoffs yet.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe this is week 10, but the playoffs are locked in and set.
June 3rd. What's today? The 11th?
The 13th today.
Okay.
So the next games will be like the 18th.
Yeah. So that's week 10. So yeah, they're still in Birmingham.
Yeah, and then after that, it's in Canton. Weird. Anyway, that's USFL.
I will not be going to a game. We'll just put it that way. Me and everyone else.
What are you drinking, Joey?
So I had my brakes fixed and drove the 10 hours to get here today, so I didn't have time to really stop and get any alcohol. But I am drinking a very special Arby's chocolate milkshake. So,
there you go. Can't say I've ever had one.
Good. Delicious. A lot of syrup, though.
Every time I hear of their mocha shakes, I can't help but think mulatto butts.
Archer. What is that?
Archer, baby.
Got it.
Clark, what are you drinking?
I unkoozied it just for you, Trent. I'm cruising at a smooth 20,000 feet with the Canada Dry ginger ale.
You mixing that with your hard to open Templeton bottle?
It wasn't Templeton. It was the Oaken Eden.
Oh, okay.
I still can't get the cork on it, so I'm just going to have to finish the bottle tonight.
So humid in Kansas, the cork swells.
It's ridiculous, man. Like, I cannot get this cork back in the freaking bottle.
Oh, to get the cork back in? I thought you were saying to get it out.
It was a pain in the ass to get it out. I thought I was going to freaking break the bottle. Like, but I got it out. So now,
Yeah.
I mean, there's not
Oh,
much
yeah.
left. Not much.
You guys
left.
just drink
Like
it
I said-
all.
Drink it out of the bottle now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You already got the solution. Just drink the rest of your whiskey on a Monday night, bud.
Yeah. Perfect. Nothing can go wrong there.
Ryan, what are you drinking?
I'm finishing up a DP, and then I'm gonna go back to the kickball.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Good stuff. Yeah. All right.
Brian, I heard your when he said DP.
Got to make sure you finish though before you move on to the next thing. You know?
Yeah.
You don't want to leave a DP unfinished.
No, never do.
Oh, Bryant, what are you drinking?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear. Well, I saw this one, Trent, and I bought it just because you talked about how crazy your sour was last week. This one's called S'morange, and it's a sour with candied orange, chocolate, marshmallow, and graham cracker in it. And of course, it's Barntown, but I don't know. I kind of like the design a little bit of it, but I figured, we get, if we're gonna get a sour, you can't just have it's that raspberry. Nope. I have to have 4 flavors. It's got to be all over the place.
Yeah.
Trent, what are you drinking, man? Oh wait,
That's
he's opening
Well,
shit.
yeah. How's Bryant's there first?
He's
Damn,
Joey,
So I can taste the graham cracker, the marshmallow. I can taste everything, buddy.
That's weird.
Are you gonna start putting oranges in your s'mores when you're having campfires and stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's something missing, and then just a slice of orange right on there.
Screw
Feel like
the-
you're dreamed by
screw
the
the
campfire.
chocolate. Screw the chocolate. I need an orange slice on that puppy.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this thing healthy and put 1 slice of orange on it, peel and all, and just eat right through it.
I like it.
Trental, what's going on there?
Well, I'm drinking Tractor Juice.
Tractor juice.
Homestead Brewing in Valley Springs, South Dakota. So just about 6 miles down the road here from Brandon. So it's a sour, which let's see, orange and raspberry.
Only 2 flavors in that thing.
Yeah, and it's delicious.
Okay, all right.
And who's that from again?
Homestead Brew in Valley Springs, South Dakota.
Thank you,
Yep.
sir.
Good stuff. So anybody do anything exciting over the weekend? I know a couple of us did.
We kicked some butt at a golf tournament. Well, okay, we played just crappy enough to get in a different flight and get some.
And to win money. That's all
There you
that
go.
matters. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
It
that
was
was
a
a
good
good time. Yep. Anybody, cut off some Daisy Dukes and do any dancing down in Nashville or
Get a Canadian tuxedo going.
I mean,
I
awfully
did
specific,
a
but-
very little dancing in Nashville. That was so. I've slowly began to realize how much I really don't like crowds, and I've never been a huge fan of country music. So Nashville really isn't my scene because that was all it was the whole fucking weekend. But
It was CMA
we
Fest this weekend too.
what's that?
It was CMA Fest this weekend too, so it was like
Yeah.
the worst weekend you could have possibly gone.
So and that's what I was saying. Like literally, it was with everyone talking about there was a country version of Halloween that was Nashville probably every weekend, but that was especially this weekend. It was absolutely insane. But I would say when you go to a different town, you're thinking like, oh, we're gonna go bar hopping. We went to Aldean's on Friday, or I'm sorry, on Saturday, and it doesn't matter what day, but there's fucking 4 bars with all live music on every single floor. Like I've never seen bars that huge, that crowded, especially post-COVID. It was just absolutely insane. And then of course Saturday we were the ones wearing the gimmicky all denim everything, fucking Carhartt hats, Cowboys hats, and stupid shit like that. But it did feel pretty cool. Like since it was CMA Fest, we had a Escalade limo. I would say we were getting quite a few stares driving down Nashville. People are like thinking like, what kind of
Hell yes.
celebrities driving through the middle of it?
I was going to
Middle
say
of
you didn't
Nashville,
bring
so
any
it was
attention to
pretty
yourself at all in a big crowd.
Yeah, no, not on Saturday with the all denim get up and everything else. But
So what
Fucking-
was the issue? Not enough Shania Twain?
I will say one thing: there was not enough Shania Twain. There was too much. It was the new Morgan Wallen song called "Broadway Girls," and since we're on Broadway, they fucking played that song every goddamn half hour in the hour. Like, it was driving me bonkers. Like I said, if it was Shania Twain, "Don't Impress Me Much," I'd be just fine with it. But it was Morgan Wallen and Lil Durk or some shit, and it was just
Oh boy, that nothing says country like Lil Durk.
like Lil Durk. Yeah, fucking.
So on Instagram, I follow these guys. It's called Stogies and Bogies.
Okay.
Clark has probably heard of them through Torres. That's where he got his golf ball cigar holder. And he was in Nashville and had like a huge, long running Instagram story. And they were at Aldean's on Saturday night too. So I was like watching all of his stories, seeing if I could just catch you in the background. It's just like Stogies and Bogies are out of like California. Like this is a company out of California. So didn't see you.
The Aldean's, I apologize. Aldean's was Friday. Saturday we went to a karaoke bar at the bottom, and then we honestly it was one of these like we got this limo and we paid plenty for that thing. We were getting the most use out of it, so we were just drinking around, driving around Nashville. So
nice.
That's someplace I've never been, and my wife and I really want to go someday. And we both love country music, so it wouldn't be our personal hell like it is for you. But it's crazy, all these celebrities getting these bars. You had Jason Aldean. I know Garth Brooks is opening one that I think is 4 or 5 stories. Eric Church is opening one that's 4 or 5 stories too, and they pack them every night.
I'm pretty sure down the street from Broadway there's the Reba McEntire Ace Hardware store too. It was insane. Everything is named after a fucking country star out there.
Is there really a Reba McEntire Ace Hardware?
No.
You sold me on that one.
Yeah, like every floor is like Dierks Bentley's bench mob or something. And we went to Luke Bryan's Nut House, and then we're at Aldean's, we're at Tequila Cowboy. I mean, it was just like everything was like you said, but everything is named after a different country star. It's just insane.
Man, my favorite celebrity bar there is by far Kid Rock. His bar is awesome. It's like 4 stories, and then half of it's outside. It's really fucking cool.
I'm pretty sure it's across the street from Aldean's. And like I said, Aldean's was the biggest bar I've ever been to, and it's I count it all as one bar. Yeah, there's 4 bars, but it was
one building.
The biggest one.
No one got roofied, right?
Correct. Yeah, it was.
Good.
I would say it was a experience.
Joey,
I apologize. You can't say that yourself, Joey.
I was at the casino with Trent, and for some reason, I got roofied.
Did you really?
I don't remember the trip back to his house.
Was it roofie or alcohol?
It wasn't alcohol.
Good.
Oh, I wanted to bring this up. Sorry, Brian. Do you have anything else about Nashville?
No, we're good.
All right, Joey, you're a blackjack guy. We talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
You're the dealer's showing a 9, and you've got 15. Do you hit?
Yeah.
All the time. I majorly pissed off a guy this weekend for doing that exact same thing. Got a 6. So I hit 21. The dealer, I don't know, 17 or 18. The guy didn't hit when he needed to, and he just got up just super pissed off that why would you hit on that when they're showing a 9? Like, well, because you're supposed to.
He's probably got 19. I'm not going to beat a 19, so that's
always
why I hit.
Yeah, the dude and the guy was sitting first, so it didn't matter what happened after him because he didn't hit, so it did not matter. Yeah.
And
Where were you sitting, Ryan?
I was at the end.
I was sitting directly to this guy's left.
Doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, you always assume there's a face card underneath, no matter what.
Right.
You always assume, so you have to hit that.
Yep.
So what did he have again?
Because he assumed the dealer would have bust if you didn't hit.
Right.
Which I think the dealer actually would have busted if I didn't hit. But it doesn't matter. I still did the right thing by the book.
Jeez, Ryan, I can't believe you're not playing for the table, you hoser.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Let me guess what color his hair was. Was it gray?
No, it was. He
was young.
He's probably our age.
Wow. Well, I hope you're listening, douchebag, because you're wrong.
Yeah, and it was funny because there were two guys sitting by Trent, and this just pisses me off. One of the guys just, play two hands, then back out a couple hands, and play a few hands, back out a hand or two. Like, dude, you're ruining the freaking stream. Just sit in or just stay out.
Yeah, exactly. Quit taking up a seat and either play it all or just leave. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get any flow like that.
Hey, nothing messed with the cards I was getting.
No, Trent was hitting everything, and I was getting
really
13s and 14s
on fire.
You counting
Nice.
cards over there, Trent?
Yeah, like the numbers were going around my head. And
Were you like doing your keywords? Man, this whiskey tastes very good, doesn't it, Ryan?
Yeah. So that was another thing that was annoying to me was, damn, Iowa. In Deadwood, you get all the free drinks you want, and so I assume that here too. So I'm playing, and you want a drink? Yeah, I'll take a Coors Light. She comes back. All right, it'll be $4.50. I'm like, are you kidding me? You don't get free drinks here. So, yep.
What do you think this is? Vegas? Come on.
I think it's
you're
Deadwood.
talking about the same state that they charge you for ice at some of the bars.
Yeah. How much for those rocks?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Had to pay for Kim Reynolds' tenure,
Yes,
Sure.
sir.
Clark, do you do anything this weekend?
Yeah, I threw a party that none of you assholes showed up for.
I didn't get an invite.
I didn't either.
I smoked. Yeah, you're a fucking liar, Trent. I invited you on this freaking podcast, okay?
There's no
You were
video
like, oh, I'm too
evidence.
good. I'm playing golf. I'm too good.
There's no video evidence of that.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah,
back
none at
the
all.
audio.
None at all.
Did the invites go out last week? Because I was gone.
Yeah.
Oh, don't give Joey a pass. You saw him
I
in
didn't
person.
I didn't get an invite.
Yeah, I've seen Joey more recently than you freaking loser.
No, don't give Joey, the guy that was in your town and didn't come see you, a pass. You guys could have been recording sitting right next to each other like Alan and Chris Collinsworth, and you didn't. So
Just trying to be safe with COVID.
Yeah. So I smoked 4 pork butts on Saturday. 32 pounds of meat.
Nice.
Only had like over half of that left over, so I got a lot of meat in the freezer. Like to be good for a while.
Hell yeah.
Did you get rid of all the wedding beers?
No, there's still some left. We made a good dent in them though.
Yeah, well,
Made some good progress.
Good.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that Torres, one of the first people who said he'd be there, he got a little busy.
Yeah.
Didn't show up.
Oh.
He came later, next day, but yeah, he apparently
I'm calling him out. Do
he
we have him
got
on-
busy
is he a
doing a
Twitter
brown
follower?
man job and sucked at it, so it took forever.
Oh yeah. Him and Vince did their floors in the bathroom or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tyler.
Is he a Twitter follower? Does anyone know his handle?
Oh yeah, he has Twitter.
Yeah.
Is it Obed Torres?
He doesn't know how to DM though, so you're gonna throw him for a loop.
All right. Well,
Let's see.
well, that's not good radio.
He
for
did
podcast.
come the
It's
next
great
day,
podcast.
but he didn't get any of the beers. So, I was looking forward to a good time. He didn't come.
I thought you were gonna say he
I still
showed
got
up.
some Gatorades for his ass. I was gonna send him home with some stupid cucumber lime Gatorades that are still in my freaking fridge.
Can't even get rid of them.
I know.
Well, if I would have known you had those, I would have showed up.
I should have
Yeah.
brought him to you. I should have brought him to you.
use that as leverage to get Joey in there.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, Joey, come to Kansas. I got some cucumber lime Gatorades.
I
We've been there
thought you
yet.
said Torres was when you said him. I thought he was gonna say that he was show up an hour and a half late.
Well, that's when I thought he was gonna show up. He was like, "I'll be there later," and yeah, like it's a old people time. It's already like 8 p.m. and people are calling it a night. I'm like, yeah, Torres ain't showing up.
It is a hat, Dave.
Because we can say this because this is what Torres calls it. Because you can tell by the last name. He calls it brown guy time.
Yeah.
and that just means he's always late. Because that's what he
He
calls
says it, I swear.
Yeah, he says it, not me.
And that's where the podcast ended.
And
No,
slowly just
he'll back us up on that one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's the one that coined that term. So
Yeah. I think you owe Torres $20 for using it.
I probably do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get that out of the anchor fund.
Yeah, we're gonna have to empty the anchor coffers to pay
Can
him.
are you sure we're not going to overdraft on that thing? I don't know.
Yeah, now it's only
Uh,
gonna take 62 more podcasts to get us back even. Jeez.
That leaves us 12 doll hairs, so
Yeah.
we'll be all right.
Oh boy. Well,
We do this for the money, folks.
Bryant's got the old smoking section up here, so we already kind of hopped into that with Clark doing 32 pounds of pork butt. So
Yep. I slathered those bad boys in mustard, and I finally emptied the last of that 5-pound bag of Yardbird.
Oh,
It's
nice.
gone. The wedding rub is gone finally. So, yep. Yeah, they're delicious. Oh man, I can't wait to eat it all over the next 6 months. It's gonna be great.
you're gonna be so sick of pulled pork.
Is that even a thing? Can you even get sick of pulled pork? Because I've eaten like pulled pork tacos for like my last 2 meals, and it's been amazing. I made some citrus coleslaw last Friday. I made fish tacos, and I found this coleslaw recipe that used like an orange and a lime for your acid, mixed that with a little oil, and that stuff was amazing as like a taco topper, like on fish tacos, pork tacos.
Nice.
Amazing. So yeah, I've been eating the crap out of pork tacos, man.
Hell yeah, dude.
Sounds delicious.
That's what I'm saying.
Did you smoke anything, Joey?
No. What the hell did I even do this weekend? Friday night, hung out with Rochelle. Saturday, went to fish fry at coworkers Saturday, and him and his father-in-law caught a bunch of, I think it was bass, but I'm not 100%. Anyway, just stood in his yard. He had 2 burners going with some grease, and had potatoes and fish and chicken, and just hung out, had some beers, and then watched UFC. And then Sunday I was coughing like it was my last day on earth, so I didn't have anything.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
You seem to have made a good recovery.
Yeah.
Oh no!
You made a good
You didn't go and tear your esophagus like Brian, did you?
I still got that cough occasionally, but
Man,
don't worry. I have the doctor's appointment that was set up a month and a half ago. It's on June 29th, so hopefully I'm still alive by then. It's absolutely insane, man.
No, my brother's kids have had coughs and crap for like 3 months, and I just keep hanging out with them, and I don't know. It finally got me, and I can feel stuff rattling around in my chest. So if I accidentally cough on here, I'm sorry. I'm trying to mute it every time.
Are you teaching them to cover their mouth, Joey?
Of course not. Why would you do that?
Because all I ever see is just kids whenever they're like they try to make sure it just spreads as much as possible.
well, they don't want to get any of the cough on themselves. You got to just project it
as they're eating any food, and it only hits around this circumference, bigger than my goatee, around their nose to their neck. Don't want to cover their mouth though, because they don't want to get their hands dirty.
Kids are their own super spreader, all by themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Each one.
It's true. So when we lived in Kansas, we took Amelia to Erica in-home daycare. A lot of times she was the only child there, never sick. Take her, we moved to South Dakota. Now she's in a regular daycare, sick all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
My boss at work, she told me, she's like, she's gonna be sick until she goes to kindergarten, and so are you. And she's right, because whenever Amelia gets something, I get it.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of old Erica, today was Kaylee's first day with her.
Good, yeah. How'd that go?
Pretty good. I mean,
Good.
I didn't cry. I think my wife did, but
Yeah.
No, she seems to have handled it pretty good.
Yeah, no, you're lucky. Erica's awesome.
Cheers.
Yeah. Your child will be bilingual before you know it.
Thank God. I'm gonna need her to interpret.
Yeah. So I didn't me and Ryan, I can speak for both of us. Oh, Ryan's back. I can speak for both of us that we didn't smoke anything this weekend, did you, Ryan? Unless you did it Sunday afternoon.
No cigars on the golf course?
Trent did that.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
No meat. I did deep fry a turkey though on Sunday, so that
Ooh.
was pretty
That was really good.
delicious. Yeah, so it was on the smoker. We have 2 turkeys. The next one I'm going to spatchcock and put on the smoker. So I just didn't have the time for it this weekend, and I just like throw it in the fryer. It's done in 35 minutes.
Hell yeah, man.
So that was quick and easy.
No house fire.
No, can't set this one on fire. No.
I bet you could.
No, not the house, the turkey fryer. You can't set the fryer on fire. The house, you probably could somehow.
Well, I was still
that's
referring to the smoker. I bet you could light that baby on fire.
That's just tempting fate. And there's no way anything bad could happen here.
There's no open flame on this fryer, so
I got you.
can't light her up. So, well, smoking section was pretty uneventful, except for good thing Clark's pit boss got some playing time this week. So
yeah, I was picking up the slack for at least 3 of you other guys there. So
well, when you smoke 32 pounds of pork butt, I would say you are picking up the slack for the rest of us. That's pretty impressive.
I would agree. So. I did get 2 new bags of Bear Mountain pellets again, so I'm gonna put those babies in.
Which flavor?
I got savory, and I think I went with straight apple for the second one.
Nice.
It was buy one, get one half off.
Oh,
so
you got straight apple on Pride Month, Joey? Come on.
I got gay apple. My bad.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Well, next topic here. I think Clark's going to dominate this one as well, as you've been watching this in your household. It's college softball and baseball. I got the World Series coming up here.
Well, softball is over.
Yeah, who won that?
I believe
Big
it
12.
was the Oklahoma Sooners. Yep.
Another title for the Big 12 this year, folks.
Yep.
They're just dominant all year. They did lose 3 games, I think, on the year, but that was it. Just absolutely showed out. They're just an offensive powerhouse. The way it's talked about, at least the way my wife talked about it, is that for years softball was dominated by pitching, and now it's becoming a very offensive game. And like Oklahoma was just crushing the ball this year, so they finished well.
Who'd they play in the championship? Was it Texas?
Yep.
Yeah, Texas.
All Big 12 championship.
Yep.
Sorry, is a Big 12 and an SEC championship?
Texas was an SEC school, so Big 12 beat the SEC.
They're the enemy.
Yep.
Yeah. And then on the men's side, the Supers, they're finishing right now. I've got Auburn versus Oregon State on the TV. Winner of this is, I believe, the final team in for the men's College World Series, the men's 8. So,
yep. And big story coming out of the men's side is number 1, Tennessee gets upset by Notre Dame, and Tennessee was an 8-run favorite, which in this tournament is huge, biggest favorite in over 10 years, and they get upset and didn't even make it into the finals.
I'm trying to think what that would even be equivalent. Like,
so
like, especially
they
that
were
level.
supposed
Like,
to score. They're supposed to score 8 more runs than anyone else in this tournament. That's how. This is the betting line that I read it today, anyway.
yeah.
So like on equivalent, they should have won every game by at least 2 runs, and then had 8 more total. I guess betting line was stupid. Anyway, it was a
that makes
huge
sense.
upset. So yeah.
I thought you meant they were an 8-run favorite just in that one game. I'm like,
Yeah,
holy crap.
Oh no.
I was like,
They lost to Notre Dame 2-1. But yeah, or 2 games to 1, I should say. Yeah.
so that's what I was just gonna say. Do they go by the 2-1 like record, or do they go by total runs, which is why it is the head-to-head record?
Yeah, just forget the betting line. They were the biggest favorite in 10 years coming into this tournament. They'd only lost like 3.
It up then, Joey.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. It was hard to understand. I heard it on another podcast. I was trying to explain it, and it just doesn't make sense. So anyway, biggest favorite in 10 years loses before even getting to Omaha. And like Clark said, the last super regional is going on right now.
Nice.
So Clark can speak to the Carl's World Series. He's a frequent flyer up there.
Yep. So last year we didn't go, COVID year. And this year I'm not going because Father's Day. So first Father's Day.
Oh, I hear you.
Yep.
Bring her.
Yeah, bring her.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Well, one thing.
I don't think you guys know
bringing
Omaha. So once
So-
Omaha has you,
bringing a child in an event like that is pretty crazy, right? It's going to be loud. Why would you bring that event? Okay,
Yeah.
I went to Nashville. We're in Aldean's. Like I'm talking about how loud and crazy this bar is. There's a woman holding I would say a 9-month to an 18-month-old child in a bar. Me and this woman are sitting in identical seats on each side of the stage, and I'm about maybe 40 feet away from multiple speakers that my left ear was ringing by the time I left. And she's just holding the child, oh yeah, it's some great country music. What the hell are you thinking? It was also like 8 o'clock at night, and you just have a child in the middle of Aldean's and fucking blowing that kid's fucking eardrums apart. Just insane.
You know you're doing parenting wrong when Bryant is criticizing your parenting.
Well, I wasn't the only one. Like our whole group was kind of like, you give the, hey, do you see that? Do you see that? And I look over, and I'm just, they'll keep playing that music. I want to hear some Morgan Wallen. Fucking, like, go home. It is dumb lady. Anyways, that's all I wanted to bitch about. Sparkling said, just bring your kid to the event.
So yeah, Omaha's crazy. Do take your kids if they're of age where they like to play Pee Wee baseball, because it's a great time for kids those age. It's amazing for that aspect. I would not take my infant to the College World Series.
It's supposed to be like 100 degrees this weekend.
Yeah.
Do you see this up here? It does not do well in the sun.
Clark's gonna have to wear his Sand Creek Station bucket hat.
That's right. I mow the yard in 20 minutes. I still gotta wear the bucket hat.
Yeah.
You should wear one of those hats that's not a bucket hat, but it's a literal just umbrella on top.
I
Then you're
need
ready
to get
for
myself
sweet.
a sombrero.
Sombrero would be
Nice.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But looking at the teams that are in the College World Series so far, one's been mentioned. Notre Dame beat Tennessee, so Notre Dame is in. They're playing Texas in the first round. Then you have Texas A&M taking on OU. And then you have Stanford playing Arkansas. And Ole Miss will be playing the winner of Oregon State versus Auburn right now, which Auburn is up 4-1. So,
which honestly, it seems like they're a little different teams than I remember back in the day, it was always what is it? Cal State
Fullerton? Yeah, where they at?
And Rice
isn't LSU usually pretty darn good at baseball too?
Yeah, they're really good for a long time. Texas has been to several College World Series themselves. Arkansas has been to more in the 2000s, I believe. Ole Miss, also known as the school up north by them Mississippi Staters, they're no foe to the old Omaha trip. So, yeah.
This is Notre Dame's first time in 20 years.
Yeah. It's good to see some new faces. It's always fun. You always got a different mix of teams. Makes it a good time.
Parity in a sport in NCAA, no.
Yeah, we don't. Well, and I mean, looking at the other schools that are, I would say, looking at the other schools that were involved as well. It's Southern Miss almost had a chance to go. UConn, East Carolina, Auburn, Virginia Tech, North Carolina. I mean, there's different. At least there's a bunch of different schools from different comps being represented. It kind of ended up being SEC and Big 12 for a little bit, but I mean, seems like you at least got a better shot.
Speaking of tons of parity, going back to softball real quick, I found this stat earlier today. The state of Oklahoma won national championships in softball in D1 with OU, D2 with Rogers State U, and NAIA in Oklahoma City College. The only division they didn't win was D3, and there's no D3 schools in Oklahoma. So check that shit for parity.
So if there would have been a D3 school, just pencil them in.
Basically, yep.
Yep,
I thought that was pretty damn cool.
that is cool.
Yeah, that's kind of like what Iowa does.
There
when it comes
there
to
was a
wrestling.
chance for it to be an all Oklahoma national championship too, because it
Oklahoma
could have been
State.
OU versus Oklahoma State. So
So if Joey wants to bring up Iowa and this whole College World Series thing, did you know Iowa State has won a College World Series game more recently than the University of Iowa?
No, I didn't.
Iowa State hasn't even had a baseball program in like 22 years. Look it up.
Trent, you might as well just start
Didn't-
talking about the second weekend of the NCAA basketball tournament, man. Come on.
We'll get to that in March.
Yeah, well, let's just talk about meaningful bowl games, like New Year's Eve bowls or shit like
We
that.
all love the Cheez-It Bowl, Joey. You can't deny
So-
it.
Exactly.
So who's won a New Year's Six Bowl more recently? We could talk about that. So
Not Iowa State.
Yeah. Yeah, so,
No,
you,
you
so
guys
just because we
have
got to
never
play
won
the
New
fourth place Pac-12 team doesn't mean it don't count, Joey.
Which New Year's Six bowl have you played in?
Fiesta.
the Fiesta Bowl last year,
No.
2 years ago.
I don't believe it.
You're
I
fake
didn't
news.
watch it.
prove it.
And that's
Prove
college
it.
football talk.
Yeah. As we wrap up college baseball, shit talking. God, by the way, actually, because of that, Joey, I cannot wait for fucking college football, dude.
I was just gonna say it's like 78 days till kickoff for the Iowa football team.
You know what? Actually, it was earlier today at the gas station when I was getting my s'morange drink here. There is a beer that was it was buy one get one free because they discontinued it because no one bought it, and it was called Iowa City Wave. So I mean, just like their tradition, no one's really buying it.
I hate you.
All right. Well,
Joey just shaking his head there.
before we ruin any friendships, let's move on to some golf.
There's no friendship. Bryant is Jack's friend. I can't be his friend.
Oh my.
Speaking
So-
of ruining relationships,
Yeah. Good transition, Joey. Live golf. Here we go. That tournament or that whole league kicked off this weekend. 54 holes. Lame. Should be 72, like the real tour. And just like everybody tuned in to watch Charles Schwartzel win. Man, that's just what we all wanted.
Oh boy,
Crazy.
OCS.
Yeah, good old Charles. Dustin Johnson, was he there? Phil was.
Is my microphone working?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Good.
Dustin was there.
Dustin was there. Yeah. Phil was there. Phil's back at the US Open right now, I believe I saw it today. But
Yeah.
so was Dustin.
Yep. But
So-
I didn't watch any of it. So
How's Phil back? I thought the PGA banned him if they played live.
the
It's an open
US
tournament.
the
It's
US,
US
Open,
Open.
yeah, it's not ran by the PGA. It's ran by the USGA, right?
Ah.
So yeah, he'll be like they'll be able to play in the Masters, the US Open, and the British Open. The only one the PGA runs is the PGA Championship for their majors.
So you're telling me
Well-
he's still gonna be playing in these PGA events?
They're not PGA events.
Yeah, they're not PGA.
Then why are you advertising it as PGA golf?
What advertising was PGA golf?
The four biggest majors.
No, that's just golf.
So the Masters, the Masters isn't one of the PGA tournaments.
No, it's run by Augusta National.
I'm so lost.
It's
I
it's
thought
not
this
run
was
by
all
the PGA.
golf.
You,
No, it's not run
Your
by the
mic's not
PGA.
Your mic's not working, Ryan.
Clark, just sit back
How
and
about
enjoy
now?
some more of your Oaken
I've got my
there.
biggest stick out. I'm trying to poke real hard. It's not working.
It's nice that my internet's cutting out because you won't get me riled up then.
Yeah.
There you go.
Everyone wanted to watch the Live Golf Tour to see Charles Schwartzel and 5 other people. We don't have a clue what their names are.
Mhm.
It's not a good product. The PGA probably had the best week they could have asked for, having Rory there, Justin Thomas, Tony Finau. They had an amazing weekend just because of that. And the subtle trend, I guess, since I cut out, did you talk about the subtle jabs that the players are making towards the Live?
I didn't. That's that bottom bullet point I typed in there. That was kind of a good middle finger to the live from Rory.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
winning
and
the 21st event, right?
yeah, towards that, and then Justin Thomas too. Sent out a tweet. What a week! That's why we play, and that's why we play on the PGA Tour. Got a battle against one of the best today, and got outdueled, but not without a fight. Congrats to Rory McIlroy on his 21st win with a winky face and an amazing finish. So they're all kind of taking subtle jabs. A lot of people are calling the live an exhibition league because you're getting paid to show up and play. You don't have to play for anything. You're making the cut no matter what and getting a paycheck.
Yeah.
So I don't think, I was kind of watching the numbers as the weekend went on. Friday Thursday was their first round, right?
Yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
So Thursday, I think at one point they had 100 and some thousand viewers. The second round, I think I saw like 65,000, and then the third round, I think like 70 some thousand. So, I mean, that's not huge numbers watching it. I didn't see large crowds there. The USFL might have had larger crowds than they did too.
Yeah, I didn't see any of it. But yeah, it was good to see the PGA. That's what they needed on the opening weekend of Live Golf. Like that final group: Tony Finau, Justin Thomas, and Rory. It's like three big names. And I think the worst one in that group was 6 under on Sunday. So they all played really good golf. Justin Rose, all he needed to do was par the 72nd hole. So hole 18 in its final round to shoot a 59. But he bogeyed it, shot a 60. Just that kind of stuff. That's what the PGA Tour needed on this first weekend of Live Golf. So I thought that was a big middle finger to the Live. And Rory said that he has 21 victories now. That's one more than somebody else, which he was referring to Greg Norman, who is kind of running the Live Golf. So good for
Cut
him.
out again. How about did you guys, I know Trent and I talked about, did you guys see the whole Greg Norman with the reporter getting kicked out? So
No.
here, I've got the tweet pulled up. Let me
I can't imagine the Saudis would do anything to silence a reporter out there. Never heard of that ever in history.
So yeah, I don't know if you're able to see that or not, but text message to Greg from this reporter. Are you aware that I just got muscled out by a couple of your goons? Luckily for you guys, I kept my cool and de-escalated this situation. Please call me to discuss. Greg Norman, did not hear. Thanks for letting me know. And the guy has a picture. That's funny because there he is standing right behind his shoulder, watching everything happen.
So what was he saying? Was he kind of poking at like the Saudi part of it, or was he causing a ruckus? Do we know?
It was questions about the Saudis and the money and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he was trying to cause a scene, and he caused it. So he got what he wanted.
Yep.
I had heard that the players were given a sheet of paper with talking points on it.
Yep.
Like, don't stray from this. Like in the press conference. That's crazy.
Did you hear what
for something
my
like
man Gooch said? Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah. No, I would say just something like this, though. I mean, for Live Tour again, this is going to kind of be for people that it's, like you said, it is going to be an easy paycheck. They're going to, and I'm sure they're going to try and make it more entertaining than it was. But I mean, I looked up career earnings for Schwartzel. He won $4 million in this event. Last 4 years combined, he made 3.945. So he made more in a 54-round tournament than he did playing for 4 straight years, including, and one of them was a COVID year, so you can't really hit it too hard. But I mean, let's see, he ran 25, 52. He played 67 events, and he made more in this one tournament than he did in 67 PGA events. So I mean, I can't get mad at a guy that, like you said, he's won his Masters. He's immortalized with the green jacket. Get your money, dude. If he's not going to compete in the PGA, just get your money, get out at that point.
I saw Dan Patrick had a quote saying this morning that the Live Tour isn't great because there's no drama, because everybody makes a cut and everybody gets paid.
That's the whole exhibition league situation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. When the loser goes home with 120,000 again, like I played the worst. No one did worse than me, and I still made fucking an above average year's salary playing 54 holes. Yeah, I mean, I heard that they have some fund, like they know they're going to lose their ass on this. I don't know. I'm going to have to get my sources, but I heard they have a fund of like 300 billion that the Saudis are putting into this. Like, I don't know if it's like tourism or what it is, but they know they're going to lose their ass on this. It's just trying to, again, get more people to probably have a positive image on Saudis.
648 billion is what it actually is, and it's the Saudi
There you go.
something fund. Yeah, it's insane.
They're also, if a player happens to shoot a 54 18 under, they will get paid $54 million for it.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're because they also had a bunch of like amateurs, or they hadn't done any pro events, correct?
Probably, yeah. I mean, they did have quite a few unranked players playing it.
Yeah, because like what's the hold on? Let me pull up the itinerary. I mean, Duplessis, Grace, Yunlin, Horsfield. I haven't even heard of these people before, but I mean, again, if you're a nobody or you're not going to compete at the PGA level, get your money at that point. Who knows how long this thing's even going to fucking last? But I don't know. It's just good to hear. Schwartzel. Here's a guy that made more money in this one event, and he's going home with it at least, I guess. But
I don't know if you guys touched on it last week since I wasn't here, but did you read aloud the team names and how stupid those dumb things are?
Yeah.
Fireballs
Oh my
and
God.
shit. Yeah.
Yes, so fucking dumb. They're worse than the USFL teams. I wish they had mascots so we could pick those apart like we did USFL shit.
The red blob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Kentucky Hilltopper knockoffs.
Seriously, just make it as cartoony and as entertaining as possible. I want Nickelodeon slime cams when someone hits an equal. That's what I want in this league. And Ryan, I think, is tired of our shitty opinions on Live Tour. He just left again.
God damn.
He's out. He just ducks out during golf.
He's so worked up about golf.
Did you see who Mr. 120,000 was from their first tournament?
Who was it?
Andy Ogletree.
Hell yeah.
He won the U.S. Amateur at Pinehurst.
What year was that?
I think 2019.
All right. Sad. Never heard of him.
He was the low amateur at the 2020 Masters.
Nice.
Wait, who makes more money, Mr. 120K or Mr. Irrelevant in the NFL draft?
Mr.
Probably
Irrelevant, because Purdy signed like a couple-year $5 million contract. He's making more money than Charles Schwartzel.
Yeah,
the winner.
We're getting all angry about this Live tournament stuff.
Yeah, there's something fishy about the NFL, man.
Yeah, they're
paying.
Yeah, where they get their money,
guys.
The Snyders and.
By the way,
Ryan's back
for the Live Tour. You said Andy Ogletree got last place and made 120,000. So far, he's only been in 2 events PGA, and he made one cut, and he made $17,000 in those events. So he went from averaging 8,500, 9,000 to 120 in 1 3-round event.
That guy's making a better living than he would have ever dreamed in the PGA. Like this,
I'm just saying,
Live golf
make
is
it an amateur.
godsend for him, man.
Man, Ryan trying to jump in on his phone kind of looked like the beginning of Pam and Tommy Lee.
He would be decapitated so fast.
I swear, if that thing comes back on, he's standing over a toilet. I'm out.
Awesome.
Well, let's jump ahead to the UFC. Joey and I, we hopped on last week and did a preview pod, and our picks weren't the greatest, but it was fun to do. I'm glad I jumped on there with you, Joey.
Yeah, thanks. I'm glad you joined. You should definitely join the next time we do one. Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of people that don't make enough money even though they compete every week, we can talk about the UFC now. Yeah, it was a good night of fights. I missed all the prelims and stuff. I was at that fish fry, but I got to see the last 3 fights. Got to see one of the greatest female mixed martial artists and just straight mixed martial artist, period. Have her last fight in Joanna when she got starched by Wale or Whaley, Zhang Weili.
Spinning back fist was
Man.
nasty.
It was off balance and everything. Man, it was crazy. But yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen a woman get starched like that. Maybe Rhonda by Holly.
Yeah,
That's
and,
probably the last one.
and like after she got hit with that, she was like falling and like she was out, but she like you could see her like she was like almost throwing a punch when she was just unconscious, falling face first into the mat. That was nuts.
Yep. So I was telling Rochelle because Rochelle's super into watching UFC fights, especially when there's two big female fights on. I was like, that might be top 10 of my favorite knockouts of all time. I still think Sugar Rashad just falling down like he just got like decapitated like a chicken was awesome. Still my favorite. But yeah, that was a great fight. And then Chevy and Tyler Santos, man, I thought Tyler won. I had her up 3-0 going into the fourth, and I didn't think Chevy did enough in the last two to overturn any of the first three. But what were your thoughts?
I don't. That might have been the fight I fell asleep during.
Oh Lord, what are we doing here?
But I did. I woke up for the main event. Okay.
Weren't you at the casino?
No, I watched it in my house.
Oh, I thought you guys were watching at the casino.
No, we left the casino and I got back to my house about 9 o'clock, right when they were starting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were watching the casino. All right, well, that's more excusable. I was like, man, if you didn't get kicked out of the casino and you were falling asleep, there's something wrong with that damn casino. But yeah, I mean, Tyler just kept taking her down, and it was pretty dominant first 3 rounds, I thought. But whatever. What do I know? You got to beat the champ. Don't leave it to the refs. So, or the scorecards. And then the main event, Glover and Yuri. I thought Glover was dominating that fight for the most part. Yeah. And then Yuri just turned that around and then knocked his ass out. So
I think Glover, he messed up. He had Yuri out on his feet. And all it would have taken was one more punch and they would have stopped the fight. But he went up and like tried to guillotine him, standing up and choke. And Yuri kind of came to, pulled out of it, and then that's when things turned around. Like I think one more punch, and they would have stopped that fight because you could tell he was out on his feet.
Yep. And then I understand him wanting to go for the takedowns later, and like take it back to the ground where he was pretty dominant in the first 2 rounds, and then all of a sudden takedowns just weren't there. But his stand up was. So why he stopped going at him, like you said, is beyond me. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good fight though. I thought Teixeira just he messed up by not putting him away.
I was real pissed that Chevy won and that I thought that Tyler won, and then also that Glover pulled that shit because that $10 that I gave you would have won me $165. So damn it.
Okay, so your 4-pin parlay was nuts. It was $10 to win like $580.
Right. Yeah, and I won the first 2. I won the first 2 and then lost the last 2.
Yeah, and then your main card one, or not your main card, your main event parlay was a little off too. But none of us won our parlays.
If I would have won those last 2 fights, I would have won like $740. Well, now I'm even more pissed. God damn it. Stupid bets.
Again, Joey, just remember when you're talking about like what state were you in last week? I guess it doesn't matter. You had legal betting. You're like, thank God I don't have this all the time. Imagine how much money you'd be because you'd be putting in 5-team parlay. I'm telling you, I got out of the parlay game a long time ago. 2 at most, because once you get to the 3 to fucking 6 or whatever it is, you're always going to be pissed at the one anomaly game that always happens or the one fight that ends early.
Yeah, but then when you hit like 4 UFC events in a row and you're up like $1,200, then it just feeds the beast until you lose all that again. So
let me know when that happens.
I can't say that I don't know what Bovada or those things are. It's just sometimes it doesn't like my bank account, or my bank doesn't like seeing stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, all in all, it was a good night of fights, and happy to see Joanna go and do something else with the rest of her life. She wants to be a businesswoman. She's got a shit ton of Instagram followers, so I'm happy to see one of the greats move on to the next phase and not try and stay too much longer. As soon as she got starched and stood up and took her gloves off, Rochelle was like, "What's she doing?" I was like, "Oh, she's fucking retiring."
I thought that same thing when she
Yeah.
kind of hung around and was taking her gloves off. Yeah, she's done.
She's like, "How did you know that?" I was like, "That in wrestling, they take their shoes off, put it in the middle of the mat, and then fighting, they take their gloves off, put it down." So, yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's what Jordan Bohannon did. He took his shoes off in Hilton, and he never played again.
Exactly.
Except he only played another 2 years after that.
Any other big cards coming up, Joey?
Yeah, there's the Adesanya fight coming up mid-July, and then there's always one's getting announced for September and stuff. So I think the next big pay-per-view will be mid-July, right after. So it might be the weekend of the 8th, 9th. I'll have to check it out, but for sure I'll have another. Go ahead.
UFC 276.
I think so.
Is that what it is?
Yep. But yeah, before that anything happens like that, we'll definitely have another combat sports podcast and just go from there.
All right. Well, I'll do my research and hop on with you then.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bring in my knowledge of who has the longest arms, and we'll definitely see
So
who does better here.
I don't know if you got to listen to the combat pod at all, Bryant, but there is a reach for kicking reach now that they have on UFC.com.
So that throws a wrench into Bryant's
What?
betting now.
Oh no, that's too bad for me.
Too many variables.
Did we see what
I have
the
to look up how far do their
the
tootsies reach?
Exactly.
did we see did we see what the standings were for the reach? If the longest reaching people won.
I didn't even pay attention to it. Didn't look.
I didn't.
Hey, how's my mic sound?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Louder, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone should do
Are you on your phone now, or what are you doing? Are you on your phone now, or what's going on?
I'm on my Chromebook now, and I don't know what microphone it's running through. So,
Sound good.
Cool. This might be the new setup for the week now.
There you go. Well,
What
Joe,
were you saying, Brad guy?
I was just gonna say, find those stats on the reach and let me know. I bet you that has a winning record.
Okay, you guys move on to the next section, and I'll look up all the UFC stats.
There we go.
Well, the next topic is the movie minute, and I think we went over this in our text group, this week, that Joey watches every show. So I don't know if we can do it without you, man.
Yeah, that's all right. I can do this quick. Keep going.
So first up is Kenobi. Go ahead. I don't watch this. Anybody?
I don't even remember what happened this week.
They snuck into Darth Vader's the base and saved Leia.
That's right.
And it was giving you
another super awesome chase scene.
Giving you serious Fallen Order vibes.
Yes, it was just like the last level of Fallen Order.
Yeah, I don't think Darth Vader was angry enough, and he didn't snap any children's necks, so I didn't like it.
0 next snap, 0 stars. That's how Clark's gonna rate him going
That's
forward.
how this rating scale goes.
So no, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. It was interesting. Like I love the he doesn't have his full scope of the Force back yet. He's kind of getting back there, using like the dark to his advantage, and it was kind of I saw a similarity on Twitter to like the Ahsoka, where it's using the dark to their advantage, and when he chopped those couple of stormtroopers up, and I don't know, they're doing new stuff, like holding the glass back and holding the water back and then drowning everyone in that hallway. It was I don't know. I really enjoyed the episode, and again, you can't have too much Darth Vader in it. It would completely water down the cool moments, but there was enough in there showing he was angry. No neck snap though.
So Brian, you need to play Jedi Fallen Order.
I haven't played. I wouldn't say I haven't played any of those, like Battlefront or any of those, but Fallen Order is pretty good.
Very good single player. So like we said, the last level is, I'm guessing there's a lot of inspiration from that for this episode.
Mm-hmm. Well, this one we talked about how much we loved episode 3. This was again that Deborah Chow. So she I don't know if she's did episode 1 or 2, but she's been doing awesome, and at least these last couple that we've seen, anyways.
The only complaint I have, and I had this same complaint for Boba Fett, was that the choreography seems a little slow. Like when they were firing at him, you can tell he's not young, and he can't move as fast as what would have been 20 years ago. But yeah, it was another great episode. There's just so many things they have to tie up in 2 more episodes. There's only 2 more episodes left in this series. It's just going to be 1 season, right? It's not 2 seasons, correct?
Well, you never know, man. I would assume it's only going to be the 1, but
so I mean, there's a lot they need to do.
Right.
Looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
Joey, have you been watching this one?
I sure have. Yeah, I'm really into this.
Okay.
I really like it a lot. This storyline is very much more intriguing than Boba Fett. But yeah, the only thing I can complain about, I don't know who they cast as Leia, but Jesus, could you get a slower kid? Come on. Like, I have nieces and nephews that run 1,000 times faster than her.
She does lines perfectly. She's good enough as actress for the age. The running, man. She just
get a stunt kid to run. Like, it's crazy. But yeah.
Have you
I saw a thing that whoever the actor is that plays Boba Fett, going back to that, he's kind of unhappy that he wasn't big enough of a badass in his season of TV, and he wants to go back to Boba Fett being a badass. So
I agree. I'm on his side. Let's get another season where doesn't want to be the, I just want to be the good mayor. No, I want to see the mayor that or whatever runs this planet and kicks ass.
Yeah,
not the diplomatic one.
The Boba Fett where you have to have the man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, instead we got the Boba Fett's like, do we have enough proxy for the meeting? We don't? Okay, well, we're going to have to wait until... Like, I want to see him killing people. Yeah,
exactly.
What a disappointment it was, for sure.
All right, well, I got those reach stats for you, Bryant.
Okay, let's hear them.
You're going to want to not do this anymore. In all bouts, the fighter with the reach advantage has only won 44.9% of the time. In title bouts, the fighter with the reach advantage has only won 50% of the time.
That means 50% of the time he wins, though.
I'm saying you're still flipping a coin. So, I mean, if you're looking for advantage with that, like, you're not getting it. And then in all regular bouts, you're losing most of the time.
Hold on, is that all time or is that just this past weekend?
That's all time. That I didn't look up.
And then you got to figure that John Jones, he's always had the reach advantage and he's always won. Right. So you just take him right out of the mix.
Right. Take him out, and those stats plummet.
Yeah. Exactly. So, all right. Sorry to interrupt the movie minute with that, but
yeah, I don't think we have much more on Kenobi other than keep looking forward to it.
Looking forward.
Nope.
Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at with it too. So,
moving on to Barry.
Yeah. Season 3 finale of Barry. There, Joey, you're the one that got me into it. What were your initial thoughts?
So I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna give this. Oh man, this was fucking good. Mm-hmm. It's got to be an 8 or an 8.5 for me. It was really, really good. I hate the spoiler alert, everybody.
Yeah,
I hate that Kusino did what he did. Sally just is a straight up C word. Like, she's moved beyond bitch. So yeah, she can go suck a big old fat one. Mm-hmm. But I was happy to see the Chechnyan. What's his name?
Hank.
NoHo Hank.
Hank. Yeah, NoHo Hank. I'm happy to see him and his boy get back together. That was a great scene.
Did they get together or did he die?
Did he die?
I don't think he died.
I thought he just passed out.
My guess is he had a bunch of brain damage and doesn't know what's going on at this point.
From the electrocution, that could be.
Yeah, well, I mean, he recognized him, so I think he did. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to rewatch it because I'm pretty sure he did. Like, because he kind of gave the we made it, and he goes, we made it, and then like he does the little, and then they changes the scene. I'm pretty sure. So I don't know. I assume he died there, but he died happy because he was in Hank's arms. So I don't know.
I wanted to see the aftermath of the tiger or whatever was in the room beside him.
Oh, me too. So much.
They do so that was actually one thing I wanted to bring up was that, like and I watched a couple other episodes of Barry that I enjoyed last night. They do so well with just like the sound design because they make that animal sound so fucking scary, and then you hear it, and then I would say then he kills it with whatever the hell the AK or whatever that he got and killed him. But like I love the scene where he got knocked out. And then you see Sally beating the shit out of him in the sound studio, but it's completely silent. And then at the end, once he's betrayed, at the very end, was his name Jim Moss, the father of Janice?
Yep.
Jim Moss is there, and you see everyone here's the fanfare of the lights and everyone getting arrested, and everyone's like, hey, we did it, we're all happy, lights, sound, and then it goes completely silent at the end, and they go away, and then here he is, he accomplished it, he did what he wanted to, and then he's still left with that emptiness, that complete silence, that she's still dead, she's still gone. That it was, I mean, I would say Bill directed this one again. There's going to be a season 4, and it sounds like he's directing every episode, if not most of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's just amazing, man. Like we keep.
He deserves all the Emmys.
Yeah, man.
Like,
I mean, how do you
for
have
acting, directing, writing? He is so good.
And how do you have such a satisfying ending? And he does it in 28 minutes. Any other show, it's like, oh, we're gonna have the season finale. If it's an hour-long show, it's gonna be an hour 30. He keeps the same timeline, and he has just as satisfying of a finale. And they have so many things tie.
That was the thing yesterday was I was watching it and I had to pause it and I see that there was only like 4.5 minutes left. I'm like,
yep.
How is this going to finish in 4.5 minutes? And those 4.5 minutes were nothing but just anxiety and what's going to happen. I mean, it was just packed with awesomeness. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. This has to be, if not my favorite show, one of my favorite shows. Because it's awesome. And I'm talking all time, not just right now.
Yeah. So Cristobal does die.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that
too.
But he dies happy in Hank's arms.
Yeah, according to a GQ interview with Kerrigan that plays Hank. So yeah, that sucks. But
yeah, but how about and I said Bill Hader deserves all the Emmys, but like the episode when what's his name? I can't remember the guy's name. Albert comes and gives him a second chance, has him at gunpoint. Just the way he's pleading for his life and stuff. Like, yeah. I did not realize Bill Hader was this amazing of an actor. It's every week he does something to make me even love him more as an actor. It's crazy.
When he shows up and Cousineau is sitting on the curb with the gun, and he's like, "You have a fucking gun? Why the fuck do you have a gun? What the fuck?" Like just freaking out on him, and just grabs the gun and goes to take care of business. It's like that's primo acting right there.
I hate that I have sympathy for him because I hate that he's going to jail. I hate that Cousineau betrayed. I guess I shouldn't say betrayed him because he killed his woman, but
yeah.
It makes you feel bad for a serial killer, basically, and it takes a pretty good actor to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how. I mean, how is he gonna get out of jail? Obviously, he can't spend all of season 4 in jail.
Well, it's gonna be him and Fuchs together again because remember he called himself the fuck the security guard looking out. So they'll be together again in prison. Yeah, I don't know how the rest of it's going to turn out, but
how terrible is that one cop of he was so worried about the Raven the whole time, the Raven, and now they're like, oh, have you seen Albert? Oh no, we haven't seen him since he cocked his gun and left. He's probably just going around taking in the sights.
Yeah. And then he was just like, man, I want to hang out. Like, he doesn't give a shit cop out there.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be a play on how bad the LAPD was during like the serial killer stuff in the 70s and 80s. That's what I read in an interview because, that's basically like I was listening to one of the podcasts I listened to about serial killer stuff, and they were talking about how the Hillside Stranglers, they interviewed those guys 4 or 5 times without even suspecting them, asking them questions about these serial killers, and like they were just led astray by these guys, and it's like, how stupid can you be? But
dude, I sat in on jury duty, I don't know, 4 years ago or something, and the way this detective was supposed to be like this great detective in the area that I lived, and all the things that were missing that he didn't do on this case, I was like, I pray nothing ever happens to me and my family because this jackass isn't doing shit for us.
right,
It's amazing just how oblivious things that should be just basic common sense to someone who's not in law enforcement just doesn't get done. It's just crazy how that happens.
Mm-hmm.
it's like, do you watch any documentaries? Like, don't you understand these things happen all the time? Like, come on.
Well, it's like, okay,
this
it's if you're the lead detective for your police department, you should know what you need to do.
right.
There shouldn't be a bunch of evidence missing because you were just kind of like, shit, this happened at 3 a.m, and I just kind of don't want to do this.
Right.
Fucking. We'll get it next shift. Yeah, it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was gonna say though, if you guys do have a hankering for more Barry in the meantime, I texted you guys last night, but Ronnie Lily, it's episode season 2. That might be one of my favorite episodes of TV ever. I'm putting up there with like Breaking Bad, Ozymandias. I'm sure there's some Better Call Saul episodes that are getting up there as well later in the seasons, but Ronnie Lily was probably the funniest. Not only the long action shot of the first initial fight, but them going after the parademon daughter. That would, like, again, talk about sound design. Like when she yells, like they have like a raptor scream behind her. So that was like some of the funniest, like some of the best choreography they have had for a fight, and the funniest like episode I think of the whole series.
Oh god, yeah, it's pretty damn close to being up there for me too.
Yeah, and that one was so over the top that it was. You wondered if it was just a dream the whole time, but yeah, it was. But again, I think that was one of Bill Hader's first episodes he directed.
Oh really?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just fucking over the top. There, he keeps telling her she's out of this world. And he goes, "It can't be that bad." He walks up to her. She fucking climbs a tree to jump from the tree on top of the house. He's like, walks back in the car. He's like, "That bitch is out of this world." Like, I don't know what that's all I know. No.
I'd love to see Hader do like a horror movie. I know he's been in It, or he's in It 2 or whatever. But I'd love for him to actually write and direct one because I think he could do some amazing things with it.
I agree. Mm-hmm. I think he'd be good at almost any genre, to be honest with you. He's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even a rom-com? You want him to do a rom-com for you?
He
was I won't forget the Stefan.
How Sally Met Barry.
Yeah. Oh, God. Fuck.
Or How Barry Met Sally, whichever.
I hope that dumb bitch is playing fucking Crashes. I hate Sally. She made
I wasn't going to be upset if she got choked to death.
No. Actually, the whole time I'm like, oh, cool. She's just going to die. I'm fine with that.
Again,
and then poking my guy through the back of the head into his eye, and he's like, "What'd you poke me in the eyeball with?" God,
yeah, you get fucking knife jutting from the. Oh my god, yeah, that was.
Again, I feel bad for a hitman / serial killer getting put in jail, but Sally, I'm like, can you please just die? Like, just
the old Skylar White effect.
That might say more than me.
Yeah. No, but
that might say more about me than anything. And yes, Dave Hader in Superbad is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, Brian, you want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, sure. I would say now I got someone above. I would say the boys last week they had the first 3 episodes released, so you can kind of binge and get back in the season, and then episode 4 just dropped. I guess. Do you want to kind of do like a full first 4 episodes, or just do episode 4 here, Joey?
I haven't seen 4 yet. I just got the first 3 in. So I was catching up. Another one of my favorite shows, Westworld, is coming back at the end of June. I was catching back up on season 3 on that. But yeah, it's Man, Homelander's jumping off the freaking deep end, and I love it. Love it very much.
Yeah. Nope, I wouldn't say. I can't talk about episode 4 because there is a lot of stuff that happens. But like the first 3 episodes, again, we kind of talk. We'll do a little spoilers. How many episodes? The first 3 so far, Joey?
Yeah, I've watched first 3. You could talk about the first 4. That's fine. It's not like it's the end of the season or anything, so I'll be watching it anyway.
No, the first 3, if you haven't watched, again, we're dealing with now. They're working through the government to kind of fight evil soups. And they're going through the action. The one scene, and I don't know how much it'll actually get the other 3 if they want to watch it, because it's a little more, like we said, Amazon's got the goriest comic book shows compared to Disney or HBO even. But the fucking first scene is this man that can shrink. He can grow in size and can shrink in size. And in the first fucking 10 minutes of the season, or episode 1, him and his boyfriend, they're doing cocaine. And to get him off, he shrinks down and goes, and it shows him going inside the guy's dick hole. And then he sneezes, grows in size, and blows up his boyfriend in half. Yep. So he's just covered in blood. His half boyfriend's on the bed. There you go. I think Trent wants to watch it now. That's no, but then.
And so, his secret move is to try and get inside people and just expand, because he tries, the people that came in to try and take him down, he tries to go in their assholes and. It's just hilarious. It's
the whole meme before Infinity War, Ant-Man going in people's assholes and expanding in Thanos, and that's how they win. That's the guy's power, So I would say, but then I would say, and it's also getting to the point where they're trying to fight the soups. The soups start winning, so now they have it's kind of a temporary compound. They call it Compound V to give them superpowers. So. Billy Butcher, one of the badasses that's fighting the soups, all of a sudden he's starting to get sick because he's taking this temporary solution to help in the fight, and it's basically killing him. So I won't go into episode 4, Joey. I'll let you watch that first, because there's a lot of spoilers in it, but it really ramps up from the first 3 episodes on, like you said, Homelander, who is basically evil Superman. All hope is being around him. They've stolen his son. His basically love interest from season 1 got killed. All of his surroundings, they think they have him cornered because he's this immortal god that they can't kill, but they've cornered him on he's got the biggest ego and image that, they talk about the political points he has on, how he rates with white males 18 to 45. They look at all these social aspects and how he could be a better superhero by rating him, so they think they've got him in check, but the episode 4, a lot of shit happens in the first in that hour there.
Nice. Awesome. And what date of the new episodes drop? Is that Fridays?
Yeah, it drops on Fridays.
Okay.
So, yep, episode 5 will be this week, and then we can talk about 4 and 5 next week if you get caught up. So
I'm debating whether I should watch it on my work computer tonight or not. Maybe.
Well, yeah. I mean, nothing is worse than episode 1, Shrinking Man. That was the most graphic part of the season so far. So
what are you doing there, Clark? You winking at yourself?
Oh yeah.
Is this season wrote by Seth Rogen, or was that last season?
Written by Seth Rogen?
I thought Seth Rogen had a part with the boys with writing.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know with the boys. I know he's in part of Invincible, which is the cartoon comic book. I know he voices a guy, and I think he does have some input on that one. But I know the boys is an actual comic book by I think he was a singer in My Chemical Romance. He's the writer of the boys.
Evan Goldberg.
Yes.
Yeah, executive produced by Seth Rogen. I don't know if he's written on it yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Evan Goldberg, he's who Rogen has wrote Superbad with and those type of movies, so they collaborate all the time. But yeah, for some reason I thought I heard he was a writer on there, but
yeah, I mean, if you can get a chance and are into those superhero stuff, like Peacemaker on HBO, The Boys, Invincible on Amazon, they're super fucking good. Doom Patrol is another one on HBO that I got into the very first season, and the second season kind of lost me, but it's also a good dark superhero movie or TV show.
Mm-hmm. And that's where me and Ryan talked about last week. Just you get superhero fatigue. That was like Infinity War and an Endgame. like I said, the boys and I've watched all of Invincible too. It's definitely like, you know, you think of how are they going to mamby-pamby their way out of it, no blood, and like those are two of the most gory shows I've ever seen because they just don't give a shit about how they kill people and showing it.
Yep. Yes, sir. All right. Ryan, you went and watched Jurassic Park?
I did.
Jurassic
Did anybody
World?
else go, or is anybody else planning on going?
Yeah.
No. Should I do spoiler free or with spoilers?
You can do spoilers.
Okay. I this has to be one of the most disappointing movies of my lifetime.
Oh,
Just started with that.
Spoiler
I love the Jurassic series. Like I loved every Jurassic Park, the first two Jurassic Worlds. They may not be the best movies ever, but I've always loved them. This one just stunk. Just flat out stunk. And I was kind of worried about it because you didn't see a whole lot of promotion on it coming up to it and not a whole lot of hype around it. Even the actors were kind of like, oh, hey, it's the third one. Go see it. It's got a 3 in it, so you should go see it. And it stunk. So did you guys see Jurassic World 2? So the premise was set up nicely. The second one may not have been the best movie, but you know, at the end you've got the dinosaurs roaming around all over the place. They're not held in a cage, and you've got an awesome premise of dinosaurs roaming free among humans in cities, all that stuff. 2 years prior to this, they had the some battle at Camp Rock or Big Rock or something like that, where a family is camping and their camper gets destroyed by, I think it was a T-Rex or something, or a Carno at the time. I haven't watched it for a while, but yeah. And then you had the preview before the last Fast and Furious of dinosaurs roaming all over the planet. This movie had nothing to do with that. Like literally had nothing like that. Who cares that there were dinosaurs free? Because this movie had nothing to do with it. This movie had to do with giant locusts. All it was a big freaking company made these giant locusts that destroy crops, and we had to use dinosaur DNA to figure out how to destroy these giant locusts. So there might have been like 10 minutes about the dinosaurs roaming free. The rest of it, most of the movie was held in when dinosaurs were held in captivity by this lab. It was taking place in that. So like everything that's happened since, like the first two movies are basically pointless if you go with this movie. And there was entertainment value to it, but you need more than just some entertainment. And the best parts of the movies were when the dinosaurs were involved. Of the 2 hours of it, I think there might have been 30 minutes of the dinosaurs being involved. The rest of it was BS, humans trying to save the world from the big bad company. And I mean, you brought back the old ones, so the old characters from the original Jurassic Parks. That was cool to have them back. But the story sucked. Like it was one of the worst stories I have seen in a movie. I hate saying it because I was really looking forward to this movie, but it flat out stunk.
Goodness gracious.
That sucks.
So what would you give it out of 10?
Are we talking alloys?
Yes.
I would give it a 4 out of 10.
10. So
seriously, I mean, it was the people come to see the dinosaur. And okay, so here's the other thing. I've always said on this pod, I love Chris Pratt, and that doesn't change on this. But the whole time he's standing there with the whole trying to control the dinosaur thing, that was overdone so much in this movie. It was so corny and cheesy how many times they did it. And eventually at the end of the movie, you have 3 characters doing it to try to stop a dinosaur. And
yeah. So David, he texted me and said he gave it a 5.5 out of 10.
So we're on the same page on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he said the 3 main characters from the original brought back some nostalgia. And at the end, he like wrote a little review, and at the end he said, overall, if you like the Bourne Identity or that style of action mixed with dinosaurs, this is that movie.
Yeah, and you know, like, so the best part was with the dinosaurs. You got like a 10-minute chase of Chris Pratt on a motorcycle going through Malta, and it was cool. The action was really cool, but honestly, that part of it even had nothing, because they were trying to I guess somewhat kind of helped with the story, but at the same time it was completely pointless because the girl wasn't even there anyway. And then there was this other character that's supposed to be this big bad underground dinosaur trader, and she was part of this scene, and then after that, not a clue. No clue what happened to her. So yeah, there were a lot of things left out. This movie basically takes the first two movies and said, hey, you don't really matter at all. We're going to make this storyline that has nothing to do with this great setup prior anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Colin Trevorrow, or whatever his name is, he did The Last Jedi, whatever the last Star Wars was. That guy needs to stop getting work. He needs to stop getting hired. He sucks ass.
He was the director on this one?
Writer and director.
Oh, well, he did have that little bit of like fan service in the final one with all the, you know, bringing all the characters back in the last final battle. I guess maybe they thought he could bring some of that magic to the Jurassic.
That sounds like that's his only move. Let's just bring back all the old people.
Yeah.
Well, and so that was the thing. Like, it was cool that they got brought back. And what's his name? The guy, can't remember the skinny guy with the black hair's name right now. He was in Ragnarok too.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum, there we go. He had some pretty funny parts in it. He was entertaining, but it was mainly like, hey guys, we're going to make references to things that happened in the first few movies. You're going to love it, aren't you? And no, your story sucks. Just please don't ever touch a dinosaur movie ever again. I would love for Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard and the original three to come and say, hey, we know this movie sucked and we want a writer that will let's bring Jon Favreau into this and make the real Jurassic World 3. Let's act like this never happened.
And next thing you know, you got Chris Pratt running around in a Mando costume.
Yeah.
Mando would have saved this movie. If they would have brought Mando into this movie, it would have made it way better. But I don't understand how you have a Jurassic World and only 30 minutes of the 2 hours actually has dinosaurs involved with it.
Now you know what I'm thinking is, now that we know that Jurassic World wasn't the greatest, you know, Fast and Furious is kind of fizzling out with their 10th movie.
Yeah.
Combine them. Fast and Furious dinosaurs, baby.
And so
they're doing that in a video game. I don't know if you guys watched the Xbox showcase on Sunday.
Hey, I have that on the itinerary on the agenda.
Vin Diesel is Arc 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the end of Jurassic World, the funny thing is, so, you know, we have all these dinosaurs. They talk about it for like 30 seconds. We have all these dinosaurs and humans live together, and they just need to learn to coexist, and credits. Like, that's the one time they like talked about it. But we stopped the giant locust, so that's awesome.
Thank you, Chris Pratt. Thank you, Jeff.
I think Egypt did that in the Bible too, somehow.
Yeah, movie stunk.
Oh, good.
Well, you know what the sad thing is? They know they don't have to have great writing because they can have just enough action, and they know they're going to make that much money. You know, they know the amount they're going to make on it. It's just,
I believe it made 143 million this year or this weekend.
This weekend, yeah. I'm guessing it's going to have a significant drop.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those movies there's a lot of those movies that, you know, these big blockbusters, a lot of people will see it more than one time. I don't know who would see this turd more than once.
Yeah, I mean that's honestly, you know, if I ever come up on a weekend where I'm getting bored, I might be, you know, the next movie we're going to talk about, I might be going to see Top Gun again, man, because that was kind of the polar opposite of it. You know, it's been a while since I'd seen the original Top Gun, but man, like, everyone kept hyping it up, and I'm like, don't let the hype get to you. And I mean, it lived up to it, dude. I mean, it started with the nostalgia of Kenny Loggins' a song at the beginning, and then taking off and landing fighter jets, and then and then it comes back to Tom Cruise, and it's all of these it's kind of the classic story of you're too old to contribute anything. They're talking about guess what, this new plane that we're trying to get to Mach 10. We're getting rid of this program for flightless drones. We don't need the human element anymore. And of course, he impresses them, so he starts teaching at Top Gun again. And there is, like I said, I don't want to spoil too much of it because there's a lot of twists and turns. There was a lot of great action. We talked about, Tom Cruise is fucking insane, but he does all of these stunts himself, and he's actually flying these jets. There's a lot of great action scenes in there. The only three things I wanted to bring up were the negatives that I saw throughout the movie. Because all the action, everything else makes up for it. I definitely recommend, if you're into Top Gun at all, you've probably already seen it, but if you want to give it a shot or some solid action, to go watch it. But a callback from the original Top Gun was when Goose plays the piano and sings Great Balls of Fire. And then his son in the movie, Miles Teller, gets on the piano, and he has a moment where he sings Great Balls of Fire, and there's a whole bar of middle 20 to 30-year-olds singing Great Balls. Who the fuck knows Great Balls of Fire? The whole song, into every lyric, that was one thing. I'm sitting there in the movie theater, I'm like, I can see the Miles Teller flying a fighter jet, nothing, but I see him singing Great Balls of Fire and everyone enjoying that song in a packed bar. I don't believe it one bit. So that was one thing. Tom Cruise's love interest was Jennifer Connelly. She owns the bar that they play Great Balls of Fire at. She has a girl that's in high school that looks at Tom Cruise and he's like, yep, Captain. He mentioned his rank as captain still. For the last 20 years, and a high school girl looks up to him and goes, "Still captain?" It's like, what high school girl knows military ranks? Like, she's like looking down at this man because he's been a captain for 20 years. Like, she's like, "You're not first lieutenant yet," or whoever gives, who gives a shit? You're just a high school girl knowing the military ranks. No way. And then I know a lot of people have brought this one up. They have a team building exercise where they go, instead of the montage of them playing shirtless volleyball, they're all just playing shirtless football, but it's called dogfight football, where you play with two footballs and you're playing offense and defense at the same time. And it made no sense. They're just throwing touchdowns to each other, and there's no defense being played. Like, it was the dumbest thing that I've probably seen, like them trying to, and of course, guess what? It didn't matter who won or lost because they made a team together, and they can't. Those were kind of the dumb things about it. Literally everything else I absolutely enjoyed. John Hamm did pretty well as kind of the asshole colonel. Val Kilmer, I cannot remember. I believe he has, like, is it throat cancer? Does anyone know off the top of their head what health ailments? Anyways, he can't speak, and they actually used an AI technology from past roles where he was able to talk in this film. So that was kind of a cool feature that, giving Val Kilmer, another big role from, him being Iceman in the original Top Gun, seeing him back in speaking again.
He had throat cancer.
Throat cancer, thank you. So I would say seeing him speak again, because I don't think he can or not very well. They worked that into the role where he was kind of using a computer to talk with Tom as well. He was typing, but got to the point where he was actually, speaking to Tom because he wanted to get what he needed to say out. So, yeah, I would definitely, if you're even slightly considering it, it's worth the price of admission going in and seeing it.
I think I'm gonna go check it out. I just want to see the feel-good story about a man who's been held down because he's so short. He's just never felt like a grown man. So, he flies jets to make it happen.
He has to fly jets because he can't ride on roller coasters at all.
Yeah.
He has to get that thrill in a jet.
Can he see over the dashboard of the jet?
It's just his eyes that's flying at fucking Mach 9.
They have to load it up with a booster seat first.
Yeah,
he has to sit on a phone book.
Yeah, a phone book. He's got a few toy blocks that are all tied together so he can hit the pedals at the bottom. You know.
You guys are brutal.
So, but yeah, the man overcome. He looked like fucking Wilson from Home Improvement flying that jet. You just see his eyes flying around. But no, plenty of dogfight scenes. It was, like I said, I can't say more positive about it. It was pretty awesome.
I've heard a lot of reviews like you've given, Bryant, that it is awesome. It's a great movie, and everybody's been suggesting it. So I got a feeling I'll be seeing it soon.
I give it an 8.5 or 9 out of 10. I mean, it's legitimately that good.
9 whole alloys.
Wow, how'd you get the preview of him there right next to Stu?
I didn't know Stu was in the new Top Gun. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. Golly, I thought you might have been pulling up
making moves.
I thought you might have pulled up the picture of him with where we showed Joey the tooth in the middle of his face again.
No, I can't. I can't unsee that. So.
Oh shit.
Well, next up we got some gaming. Clark.
I don't have the agenda, but sure. Xbox Showcase just happened.
I put that on along with the Summer Game Fest. I'm like, Clark, you might have something too.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched the Xbox Showcase on Sunday whenever it happened. I was really pumped because Sea of Thieves is finally going to allow you to name your freaking ship. Finally, the bearded hag shall have her day.
Finally have a name.
Yep. But no, I mean, Xbox, a lot of things to look forward to coming up over the year. So
yeah, their big thing was what's going to be released in the next 12 months. Actually released.
That was the entire show, is things coming in the next 12 months. And so Starfield's probably the biggest one coming out.
Looks massive.
Like just the pure scope of the entire world of what you'll be able to go check out. I don't know how full the world will be. Like, is it going to be a big empty space? I have no idea, but I'm looking forward to it.
I think over 1,000 planets you'll be able to explore.
Yeah.
What was that space game that came out a few years ago that was very glitchy? It sounds
No
like
Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
That game is solid now. Like, they keep patching it. No, like, seriously.
Star
they
Fox
continue
64.
to develop that game.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I would say, so you do have it. Is it worth giving it a shot?
Sure.
Okay.
I would buy it on sale. I mean,
you sold me on it.
Do you have any interest in space or just exploring something you don't know about? That's what the game is. You want to go explore something with some slight push out into the world to go do whatever you want. That's what that game is. Just, I'm going to go check out this planet.
I'm getting tired of exploring Caldera on Call of Duty. So, yeah, I'm looking for something new.
Yeah.
I guess the other big thing from the Xbox One is that they have a partnership with Kojima now, too.
Okay.
And I've never been a huge fan of him, but it seems like everyone absolutely loves. I mean, everyone loves the Metal Gear Solid series, and then I know he had huge promises for Death Stranding. I don't have a PlayStation, so I never played.
Did you ever check out Walking Simulator? I never did.
That's what it was. Is the Fetus UPS delivery simulator. And so, like,
but you can also pee in it. Remember?
True, and drink Monster Energies.
Yep.
What a game.
It's funny to me because it was the same thing with that. Is we have this game that's revolutionary. No one's ever done anything like this before, and that's what it was. It was a package delivery simulator with some of his weird stuff. So I'm pretty excited for the Uber Eats delivery simulator he's going to be bringing to Xbox. That's going to be a great game.
Oh hell yeah!
Why not just go do it and make money?
Yeah,
because it's easier to sit on your ass and do it at home.
One of the games that did stand out to me that I've been waiting for to hear something new on was Silk Song. I don't know if anybody else has played Hollow Knight, but this is the long-awaited sequel to that game. It's called Silk Song. It is a platforming game. You're like this little bug. You're battling bugs in this. It's very noir type setting, dark. grungy, but it's a lot of fast-paced action. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's fun. The first game, I was like looking around one weekend, like I don't know what to play. I'll try this out. It had me hooked, just like that. And
is it on Game Pass or what's it on?
It is on Game Pass. Hollow Knight, and this will be Hollow Knight Silk Song. It will be day one on Game Pass. A lot of their games are going to be day one Game Pass, so that's a lot of value to me. So I'm looking forward to it.
I think I'm going to have to get a Game Pass. There's too many good games that just come free with it. I haven't bought into it yet, but
well, especially now with Bethesda on everything being part of Microsoft, that's Starfield's going to be one of them. Another one, Clark. I don't know what you think of it, but Redfall, that looks interesting.
That was the next one I was going to bring up. They teased it last year, and I caught a lot of interest in it. So watching the trailer for it this year, I was very into it. I'm looking forward to it. It's supposedly going to be very playable, single player or multiplayer. I think it kind of had some Back for Blood type vibes to me, with just battling these sorts of vampires. So
yeah, it looks like an open world version of it with vampires, basically.
Yeah. So I'm going to be interested to check that out. And of course, nothing quite like fighting dinosaurs with your family in Ark 2.
And Vin Diesel.
That's right. Nothing better than Vin Diesel riding a T-Rex. I still don't know what the point of having the game is.
Yeah, I don't know what they can do for a story that involves Vin Diesel riding dinosaurs, but it's got to be better than Jurassic World.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
So big news for gaming at the Nelson household. Tomorrow, the Series X will be here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Trent, for letting you spend $500.
You owe me $500.
You owe me $1 million.
Send the bill.
We're even.
Has anybody ever been a fan of like the Diablo games? Anybody else ever play those?
Never really played them.
So Diablo 4 is coming out in the next 12 months as well. I jumped into it on Diablo 3. I had a lot of fun with it. Minecraft Dungeons is kind of the same type of build, just not nearly as far in depth as Diablo ever got. So I'm curious to see where this one goes. I'll probably, if it hits Game Pass, I'll play it. I don't think it's going to be released on Game Pass right away, but I'll wait for it to hit there. So,
did you watch any of the Summer Game Fest too?
No, I did not.
There wasn't much on there. The two things that stood out for me, I guess maybe a few. The Callisto Project, that's a horror game coming out from the original developers of Dead Space. Looks a lot like Dead Space, but it looks like it's going to be pretty creepy. So I'm really looking forward to that. Then they dropped some video for Modern Warfare 2, which I shouldn't be excited for, but I kind of am. Just watching the campaign demo looks really awesome. So I'm looking forward to that.
Good news is you probably only saw about 50% of the campaign in that video.
Yeah, probably. Clark, the other thing, I don't think I'm sold on Gotham Knights.
Did they show more on that? Because I thought I saw something that they had, but
just a little trailer for Nightwing. Nothing big, but I'm not sold on it.
The last time I saw some action from it, it didn't look very polished yet. It looks like it needs more time to me. I didn't see anything this past weekend if they did release something, but
no,
yeah.
I don't believe they did. But yeah, just something about it doesn't look as good as the Arkham games.
Yeah, it just looks like it needs more time and polish.
Well, and so like with Arkham games, you have his grapple hook going between the city. With these ones, I'm not the hoverboards and that stuff that they're flying around with. I don't know. That's kind of weird. And the Red Hood, like he's got bullets that are all non-lethal and stuff, and that's kind of against his character. He's not all non-lethal. I don't know.
Shooting those rubber bullets.
Yeah.
Crowd control.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's right. Did you see that Flight Simulator is adding a particular not spacecraft, but a craft that you can fly?
Yep.
A Pelican. Yeah, that's right. You'll be able to fly that Pelican right down to your house, Ryan.
I know. I uninstalled Flight Simulator. It was really cool, but after a while, I'm like, I'm not great at flying, and this takes a while.
Same. Oh, it's like, oh, this is hard.
Yeah,
I quit.
it was kind of a grind.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff coming out in the next couple of years, though.
Yep.
Pretty excited. We might be getting to the golden age of gaming.
Well, the question that's on everyone's mind, was there any NBA 2K updates? Because that's what I want to know.
No.
There wasn't.
They don't even need to put out an update. Just come right before season next year. They'll be like, here's 2K23. Same shit as last year. Just got a new number on it.
Nope.
Buy it again. Oh, you ran out of VC credits? Buy them again. Come on, start all over.
I know Dave asked about Hell Let Loose. I have not played it. I've seen it. I don't have unfortunately have a ton of time to buy games and try to put time into them, so that's why I haven't. It looks cool though. It does look cool.
Yeah, I'd say I think I might try to check it out. I would say like I said, I've been looking for something new lately, and that's I would say. And again, I'm more of a first person shooter type of guy, so I might have to check her out.
Yeah. Gosh, I was gonna say something. I can't remember. If I think of it, I'll start another YouTube live stream and
like 30 seconds and just
everybody's
say it
in bed.
Is there more left on the agenda? I can't tell.
Nope.
I've got one question for this group. Is Tyreek Hill the new wide receiver diva of the NFL?
I don't know about new, but yeah, he is.
No, I mean, like, is he the guy now? Because Antonio's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Is it now Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, I don't know. AJ Brown is also calling out people from the Cowboys and shit. And then there was another receiver that was just bitching about his contract. Stephon Diggs back in January. So yeah, I mean,
he got a new contract.
I know, but I mean, it's like running rampant all over the NFL at the moment.
Well, and we all know
Tyreek Hill has buyer's remorse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like we said, I've kind of gotten over like it pisses me off, but I'm more to the point. It's like he can't say anything negative about Tua. We know that for sure, but it's just so discouraging that it's just like just part ways and just be done with it. Mm-hmm. But you're talking about you're getting to the point where you're getting as close as you can to disrespecting ex teammates. And it's pretty soon we're going to start hearing about something how like. Who is it? Gillespie, the tight end for Miami. Oh, he's gonna for sure get me more open than I'm used to. He's gonna say something like that is referring to Travis Kelce. We know that he's just gonna keep doing stupid little shit like this to listen to now that I have your attention. Wherever the fuck is stupid.
He sounds to me like the scorned ex-girlfriend. Honestly,
mm-hmm.
like with all this.
Yeah, and he was the one that broke them up too.
Yeah,
I was gonna say the same thing.
Is his podcast still not out yet? Like. Again, I know we talked. You guys talked about it last week. Jesus, how long does it take to publish that damn thing? I mean,
we do
crazy.
Like I said, we've put out 3 podcasts before he.
Right. He did do a. Sorry, Brian. He did do a camp in Colombia this weekend, and a couple of my former coworkers that work at 3M had their kids there, and I guess the kids were giving him a bunch of shit for talking bad about Patrick Mahomes, who was their favorite player. So that was kind of funny.
Just this week, Devontae Adams did the same thing, saying Carr isn't that much different than Rodgers. It's like there's a massive difference between those two.
Yeah,
one's been thrown to Devontae and one hasn't.
Yeah, I mean that.
What, Clark?
I said, one's been thrown to Devontae and the other hasn't.
Yeah. I get it. I mean, you have to hype up your new situation, especially if you're the one that made the decision to leave and do it. But there's positive reinforcement, and there's just being totally crazy.
Yeah.
Ooh, that reminds me. That's what I was gonna say. So
okay,
with the Summer Game Fest thing, when I was watching that, like the last half hour of it was all indie games. Okay. Dude, talk about just nothing but depression. Like they're all like Xanax the game, basically. Just at some point someone has to say, okay, just because this is really freaking weird doesn't and I guess artistic doesn't mean that it's good. Like what happened to something like Mario? Why are we doing
these studios are literally going, what if depression was a video game? What
Yeah,
we're gonna
that's
do is
that is what 100. I would say they probably showed 30 different indie games, and I would say 25 of the 30 where I would need to go to a psychologist after playing it because I would feel terrible about my life.
Just need a little boop, 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 boop,
imagine
boop,
you're
boop,
sad and
boop.
hate your life now. Now imagine in a video game. It's just like, yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I feel bad saying that because the developers, I don't know if they're going through stuff or whatever, but man, at some
Kind of
point,
like when Dwight Schrute created Second Life in his Second Life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, and that's the same thing with movies too. I know of someone that will recommend movies, and they're just weird. They aren't good. They're just really freaking weird. And
Like,
it's okay. This is super artistic, and if you're as smart as us, you can understand it. And it's like, you know what? Sometimes I just like to watch shit blow up.
It's hard for me, like, because I know, like, the movie I've always wanted to see was like The Marriage Story that had Adam Driver, Scarlett Johansson, and you see all these like raw emotional scenes. I'm just like, I don't know if I'm ready for it. Like, you have to be in a certain mindset to be ready to, like, all right, you ready to watch people fall out of love for 90 minutes? No, I'm not ready for it. Let's put a show on for repeat for the 15th time because I'm just not mentally ready for that tonight.
Yeah.
I have told myself that I am no longer going to just throw The Office on when I'm bored. I'm going to start new shows and at least start them. So the next one I'm doing is Boardwalk Empire.
Oh,
Ooh, okay, I've heard good things about it.
yeah.
Because I lost interest in Peaky Blinders, and I also will not finish Better Call Saul just because Trent likes it. So
Good enough reason.
exactly.
I like it.
Dang, a show good enough for me to watch the whole series. That's how you know it's good.
Right. Maybe
So
at
I'm
some
at-
point.
I'm at
Sorry,
his.
Trent, I'm not watching all of Pickers again. Jeez.
I'm at Trent's place this weekend, and he's going through his TV saying, "Look, dude, you can watch every movie that's out there. You can watch every TV show that's out there.
Yep.
Why don't you?"
Yeah. And what's stopping you? Nothing.
Time. That's
You
what's
gotta-
stopping you.
Time. Yeah.
Time.
Yeah.
As we're pushing hour 2 of our podcast here, we don't got time to watch movies.
Yeah, maybe next week I'll skip the podcast just so I can watch your movies you want me to watch.
Okay.
I mean,
No.
if that's what you're saying.
Spoiler alert, he's still not gonna.
Yeah, I'll be here. I'll be here.
But we do need to end this soon because we learned last time that we can't go
Yeah.
for 2 hours. So
Yep.
Let's wrap her up, folks.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for hanging out. We do appreciate it. Sticking with us here, listening to all the old pods and watching us on YouTube. It's kind of fun to get to interact with each other and see each other's reactions. So we do appreciate it. But again, give us something to talk about. We'll do it. Ryan's trying to hold us back here with Chris Pratt. But what are the socials, Joey?
Yep, hit us up on Twitter and Instagram at Heartland Pulse. Facebook, just search Pulse of the Heartland. YouTube, you've got the link if you're following us now, but otherwise just search Pulse of the Heartland on there as well. And we'll be doing live stuff every Monday.
Is that Tom Cruise in the top left?
Yeah, I was hoping you'd catch on to that. Just the
All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week. Thanks for listening.
Appreciate you.